Now, this is a story you might be aware of. Ticketmaster said it's working to mitigate the risk to customers after hackers claim to have stolen the personal details of more than 500 million users.
The company confirmed there has been what they describe as unauthorised activity on the database, but has not said how many people are affected. Our business reporter Simon Browning has the latest.
Ticketmaster, one of the biggest ticket platforms in the world. It's where you buy your chance to see the biggest showbiz stars on the planet. Music, festivals, comedy theatre, they're all for sale here. But now, after what could be one of the biggest data breaches in history, personal information could now be on sale too. On Saturday morning, Live Nation, Ticketmaster's owners, confirmed they'd been a victim of unauthorised activity on its database. Shiny Hunters, a hacking group, claims to have 560 million customers' personal details and partial credit card information. This number is still to be confirmed. The hackers want $500,000 in ransom. With millions using Ticketmaster for tours like Taylor Swift or Bruce Springsteen, social media users have expressed concern about their accounts and tickets.
They will be looking to exploit this, potentially.
Cybersecurity experts are warning opportunistic scammers will now be trying to exploit concern about the breach.
If you receive an email, if you receive a text message, if you receive a WhatsApp message that in any way talks about this breach and this hack, be very, very careful. The second thing, don't click links. Don't click on any link that you receive through email or text message or WhatsApp whatsoever. And the third thing is, especially if you click on that link and it says enter your details to check if you were in the breach or something like that, do not do that.
Ticketmaster says it's working to mitigate the risk to those affected and will contact its users with respect to unauthorised access to personal information. Simon Browning, BBC News.
Well, we're joined now by Professor Victoria Baines, an expert in cybersecurity. Very good to have you with us this morning. We first got word of this. It was breaking on Thursday morning during the programme. Why has it taken them so long to confirm that this has actually happened?
Well, in practical terms, it can take a bit of time to work out what's going on, but the clock is ticking because in the UK and in Europe, if you're a company that suffered a data breach and you hold people's personal data, you have just 72 hours to inform the Information Commissioner here in the UK and to start informing customers. But in reality, all we've had since Thursday is a claim from the hackers, or at least somebody acting on behalf of the hackers, trying to sell this data. It takes a lot of analysis to dig down into the weeds of that. But at the same time, as some of your social media users were expressing, the company could have reached out and at least said, we're looking into it. We've seen that that there are some claims in the hacking forums. We'll get back to you as soon as we know what's been happening.
Yeah, so the hackers are saying that they have potentially got 500 million accounts. So this is something, clearly, it's not UK, it's not necessarily Europe. This could be worldwide, of course, if those figures are to be believed.
That's right. And there are also reports that the attack is linked to an attack that was announced on Friday into Santander Bank, where the hackers are asking for $2 million, where they actually claim to have full account details for 30 million customers and card details for many more. Why are they linked? Because both companies use the same online storage service. And the claim is that hackers have used an employee's login details to gain access. So I think it's only fair to expect that we may see more announcements from other companies that are using this same service.
So in which case, given the numbers affected, there'll be people watching this morning wondering if they've bought something through Ticketmaster, if they're potentially affected, if they're customers of Santander, what can they do to protect themselves in practical terms?
There's lots they can still do in practical terms, so don't panic. Good basic cybersecurity measures still apply and will protect you from most threats. So firstly, there is no suggestion that account passwords have been compromised. That said, it is always good hygiene to change your password if you become aware that your account may have been included in this hack. As your expert mentioned on the segment, there's an increased risk now that customers will be on the receiving end of targeted scams. So be on the lookout for phishing emails that reference your favourite bands and artists. And we might even see scams from criminals pretending to be Ticketmaster's or Santander's security department. Always check who that email or text is really from. And if you get a claim from someone, a call from someone claiming to be from your bank, hang up, call back on their official number. This has always been good advice, but especially so now.
Really, really good advice. And Professor, we know that the hacker group is called Shiny Hunter. What do we know about this group?
Shiny Hunters have quite a track record for this kind of activity. So in 2021, the group sold a genuine database of stolen information from 70 million customers of US telecoms firm AT&T. And in September of last year, almost 200,000 Pizza Hut customers in Australia had their data breached. And that's why on Thursday, we heard that Australia was leading the investigation into Ticketmaster. We've since heard that the FBI is assisting Australian authorities with the investigation. And that, of course, is because Ticketmaster is based in the US.
And then in terms of, you were saying other organisations could be targeted who use this database. What will they be doing now on a corporate level to try and protect their customers from also falling victim to these hackers?
I would imagine, having worked in this industry for the best part of 2 decades, that there will be a lot of incident response and cybersecurity teams in a lot of organisations checking their own security this weekend. A lot of folks working overtime, and that's because attacks on third-party IT suppliers are becoming more common. It means that companies like Ticketmaster and Santander, they have to make sure not just that they are secure, but that all the companies they outsource to are also secure. And if we look at a company like Ticketmaster, they have suffered several high-profile breaches of customer data in the last 10 years. It was fined £1.25 million by the UK Information Commissioner in 2020. And that was for a third-party hack. It's because the chatbot on its website was hacked. So quite rightly, the buck stops with the company we give our data to, not with the companies that they then outsource it to.
Just a thought, is there any potential for payment systems to come up with a way where we don't have to actually put our credit card details in every time, that it could be done in a way that avoids that?
Absolutely. And we already have that, in fact. So if you use a mobile wallet like Apple Pay, Google Pay, PayPal, every time you make a transaction, your credit card details actually stay on that app. They don't go to the retail site. So one thing you can practically do is don't hand over your full credit card details unless you really have to. Now, there's always the possibility that those wallets themselves might be hacked, but it does reduce the number of different places that your data is at risk.
That's really useful, and I'm sure that will help reassure people watching this morning if they're worried then about putting their card details in. Some really good practical advice there. Professor Victoria Baines, thank you very much for joining us.
Now then.